2006 Range Rover Sport. So this is the first shape. This is the 2.7 V6 turbo diesel. It doesn't come on the plate that's on the car at the moment. That's just been taken off. It'll come back onto a standard plate, which we'll detail in the description. This one's been owned by the current owner, who's a regular customer of ours for quite a few years. It's been his wife's car. It's not done a lot of mileage in the last couple of years. They've looked after it very well. As you can tell by the bodywork, it's nice. It's nice and clean. There's no warning lights on it, so that's always a sign that somebody's looked after the Land Rover. 4 matching tyres, all that kind of stuff. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. It'll be a relatively quick bodywork on this one because it is very clean. They've obviously spent a lot of time looking after it, but this front bumper's all nice and tidy. Inside this arch is all good. There's no signs of any marks going down that front wing. It's got aftermarket sport vents on it, so these are black instead of the sort of body coloured silver. Kind of suit the car. Factory side trims on it. It's never had side steps fitted, so you don't have rusty brackets or anything going on there. Chrome mirror covers with no marks or pitting at all on them. Really nice and clean. Going down this driver's door, again looking down there, you can see nice and straight. All one colour, which is important. These haven't faded, which is always nice. And there is no bubbling on this trim. If you know these things, these bubble for some strange reason, and they're a nightmare to replace, but they're all nice and clean along there. Rear driver's door has 2 little marks here and here, and that's about it. There's a little bit of something there, but that's actually cleaning product. And there's a little bleb in the door there, which you can just see. But inside the doors, where they quite often go, is all nice and clean. In the arch, it's all nice and clean. Tiny little bit there at the bottom. Tiny little bit. And in the rest of the arch there, all nice and clean, as you can see. This rear quarter panel's all nice. Slight little mark there. In fact, there's not that sunlight. I'm lying to you. There you go. Again, looking down the side, you can see it's nice and straight. It does have some back to black on the trim, which makes it look a bit streaky, so we'll clean that off because it's horrible. Both rear lights are nice and clean. All the plastics are nice and black as well. They're not faded. They've not been heat gunned and made brittle or anything like that. A couple of little marks on the tailgate, just to be expected. Things coming in and out of the boot. But the rest of the boot, all nice and clean, nice and tidy. Even around the bottom of the wiper, which quite often around here all bubbles up. That's nice. A few little marks of paint flake on the underside. Black bit of the spoiler. Really easy to touch that in. If you can see the roof, all nice and straight as well. Nice and clean, nothing to whinge about there. It's even got the sort of where the tow bar would be, the plastic covers is actually still there, which is really rare. And it's still got a spare wheel under there as well. So they've normally gone missing by now. Slight little mark on the corner of the bumper there. Again, you can see on this side, all one colour, all nice and clean. No dodgy paintwork going on there. No marks on this rear panel at all. Again, no bubbling on this trim going all the way along. Excuse me. This arch all nice and clean. Again, we'll have a look in there again. Inside the door, check it's not been shut on itself 1,000 times. Tiny little bit in the bottom there. But other than that, all good. And then the front passenger door has a little bit of a touch in there, which you can see. Front wings all nice. A couple of little stone chips on the bonnet, which again, are to be expected. Car's done 120,000 miles. It's not a brand new car. As you can see, all one colour. I'd give it a good, I'd say it's a good standard for what it is. On the interior, it has got tinted windows as well, but it's aftermarket tint, so you can't take that off if you want. Black interior. Driver's seats worn really well, nice and clean. A little bit of wear on the seam there, ever so slightly, but no real sagging on there. You can tell it's had a fairly light driver for most of its life. If that was me, that's it would be in tatters by now. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel, tiny little bit, but other than that, nice and clean. Good spec this car, obviously heated seats, sat nav, parking sensors, cruise control, automatic lights. All the stuff you'd expect from a Range Rover. It has got the Harman Kardon sound upgrade. I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, there you go, Harman Kardon. That's good. Double check. It does have full fitted Range Rover mats in there as well. And it has had DVD players fitted in the back, which is down the bottom there. Heated seats in the rear as well, which is quite pricey option back then. But the rear bench seats, all nice and clean. 3 seats there. Isofix on both sides. Nothing at all to whinge about. Headlining's lovely and clean. So tailgate on a Sport splits in 2 ways. It opens like that, or you can open the whole thing. And then you get in here, all nice and clean. You've got the plug for if you want to put your PlayStation or something into the DVD player. But all the plastics and everything are there. All nice and clean. The carpet's not damaged or anything like that. You've got your jack and everything in there. No spare wheel in the boot because it's underneath the car. And all nice and clean in here again. Like I say, back seat's really good condition. And passenger side. Door card's all good. Fitted mat again. That seat shows no real sign of wear. A tiny little bit on the seam again. Tiny little bit. But other than that, nothing really to complain about. Under the bonnet, it's not a lot to see on these things because they're caked in plastic on a modern car. And also there we go. Right, so there you are. Told you, loads of plastic. But it's all nice and clean. It's all present, which is good. It's not all been removed and left off. All the fluids are the right level. It does have the fuel burning heater, which you'll see come into action in the winter. If you've got more than a quarter of a tank of fuel, it'll ignite that just to try and get the car up to temperature a bit quicker. It means you can turn the heaters on a bit quicker. We'll fire it up. So like I say, 2.7 litre V6 diesel. And it must be the rarest Land Rover in the world. So, A, it's got a fuel light on. That doesn't count. And it's got a light on for me not having my belt on, which we can easily take off by putting the belt on. There you go, so that's gone. 122,000 miles. Like I say, navigation, 4x4 info, all that sort of stuff. Shows you where your wheels and things are. And then it's got the 6-stack CD player, heated seats. One of the things that we want to try is let's do it this way. So we're gonna lift the car all the way up on its air suspension. Again, throw no warning lights. And that's gone all the way up. We'll just have another look, double check. It's gone up nice and even. So there you go, full extension. And then if I lean in and drop that down to all the way down, as you can see, lowers down to road height, and then it'll go down to what's called access height. So that's all the way down, make it easier to get in and out. So air suspension all working as it should, and again we'll just double check. No warning lights thrown on there. One for no seatbelt, one for the fuel light. But other than that, all good, which I think makes it probably one of the most rare Land Rovers you can find. Any questions, please get in touch. Happy to send any more photos, videos. You can come and see it yourself, of course. Any questions, just give us a shout. Thank you.